Hello, Minecrafters. So, I'd previously posted a tutorial on a furnace design that I was inspired from by Exumas. This is it right here. And it's a pretty simple design. You use a track to go across. It uses a detector rail with a comparator to find out if there are any items in the chest at all, and if there's at least one, it continues to let this minecart with chest go back and forth, thus more or less evenly distributing the items amongst the furnaces, speeding up time it takes to smelt, unless of course you're able to fill them all up, which means you have a lot to smelt. And I'd mentioned, as I was thinking about it while I was recording, that it may be possible to add a track back here. Well, I couldn't quite get it to work with just one row of hoppers. But I did get it to work with two. And it should be fairly easy once you realize this pattern. I have altered the design a little bit more. I've made it slightly more compact. But the thing is, with two tracks, you can go further. This is 16 and it works. You can make it go even further. I did try one with only one, but it seemed to glitch out in one direction and not on the other, which baffled me to no end. So here I am going to be loading this up with the beautiful iron ore. Not all the way loading, of course, as you can see. And I know I made these stairs, but I like flying. And I'm going to load this up with coal. You can use blaze rods or whatever. So let me show you how this is laid out first. And I apologize if you see the lag. I don't know whether that's just my Minecraft that's lagging or whether the recording software is also catching the lag or not. I'll have to review that later to see if that's the case. But I included the button above this just to be slightly more compact. Although I don't know if that really compacts anything, but this definitely does. So this powered rail is getting power, but it does not stop this from working because the power from here only goes down one block. And that's also what enables these to work. Now, if you're going to be doing this, I do recommend to put this powered rail every 8 blocks. So you put the powered rail at the end and you count 7 with regular rails, powered rail 7 again, and you just place a block above here, a lever or torch or something. Even do a redstone block of redstone above that to power that. Other than that, it's pretty much all the same. Like I said, there are 2 rows of hoppers, and that's just to separate them. The problem I was running with was just making them right next to each other. They would always hook up here, even if you put a block directly above them to stop that from happening. Besides that, it was difficult to get away with the powering of the rail if they were right next to another hopper or whatnot. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and start this. You can watch it work its magic. It just does that to get a boost, and it goes back and forth, and continues to do so. I guess we might just want to come take a look at these. Slowly but surely getting stuff in them. You can start this. And it looks like it, oh, there we go. So because you can make this as long as you want. Did this lag? No, it's just me lagging. Okay. Because you can make this as long as you want, it does enable you some pretty epic furnace rooms if for whatever reason you need a lot to smelt. Possibly a community furnace room in case a lot of people tend to use it all the time for big servers. But yeah, this is pretty much the design, and these will just keep on going back and forth until they have nothing more to contribute. Let's go check our loot. Ah, a stack of iron already. Alright, so another reason I made this video, other than to show the second rail, was because I don't think I did a good enough job explaining it the first time around. And I like explaining things. I personally think that's one of my stronger points in life, so I'm going to give this another shot. I don't think I did so well then. So this part should be obvious. The track just goes across the hoppers, and as the minecart with the chest goes over them, the hoppers pull the items from the chest. When a minecart with a chest or a hopper passes over a detector rail and a comparator is right next to it, the only redstone signal that will get sent through the comparator is based upon whether or not the container has anything in it. It'll go at least one if there's anything in it, and then it splits off into two. The reason it splits off into two is so that I can cause this powered rail to stay active for longer. Have it active immediately, and also have it active after a delay. And they end up helping each other out to make the powered rail stay on longer. Of course, if the chest doesn't have anything in it when it passes over the detector rail, it's not going to power this, and the cart's going to stop here at the platform, ready for you to load more and manually start it by the button pressed just right here. These are just fancy little stairs. The powered rail against this block will allow... Ooh, looks like they're done. Let's go take a look. Yes, they are. The powered rail at the end of here allows it to continue to go back and forth each time, so it'll always start and end right here, and it always ends perfectly. And as you can see, if we push it with nothing in it, it does go the full length, and when it returns, nothing gets powered and it stops. The exact same setup over here. It's just mirrored. Now you have to include these powered rails if it gets too wide so that the cart will continue to go on like normal, and as you can see, items got through the hoppers into the furnaces even though these powered rails are powered because they're powered from the block above. So, to make this kind of a thing, you're going to need hoppers, you're going to need furnaces, you're going to need a chest to put the stuff in. You're going to need a source of power, a constant power, like a lever or a redstone torch or a redstone block. Building blocks, powered rail, regular rail, don't know if I mentioned those already, detector rail, comparator, repeaters, redstone. You'll also need some sort of redstone activating thing, like a button. Could be a pressure plate. Could even be the redstone ore that you just right click. That'd be pretty cool. In order to get it all started. At the beginning platform of each one of these, you need 4 blocks. The detector rail cannot be right next to a hopper because it will transfer its power to it. It has to be at least a block apart. Also, it cannot be touching the powered rail because even though the detector is sending power through the comparator if and only if the chest has nothing in it, it will send regular power to other things asking for it, like the powered rail, like a regular redstone wire or a repeater, etc. So these do have to be spaced apart, and that means that this has to be 4 wide. You have to have a 5th block here to stop the minecart so that it can then be pushed back. And back. The way this wiring is that there's a single comparator coming off the detector rail, a single redstone wire. If you watch my last video, you'll know you can do a block just the same. 2 repeaters branching off up and to the right. The up repeater has 3 redstone going across to go back down here. This makes a figure 8 if you just look at this part alone. Except this repeater that goes back down is set to the max amount of ticks. This is to give it the proper delay to work to extend the signal going here. And then here we have a repeater set to minimum ticks to again have them work together. And that's pretty much the design. The exact same thing is done over here, except instead of branching up and to the right, this comparator with the redstone signal then branches up and to the left with 2 repeaters. And it looks like the furnaces are getting about done. As you can still see, we have a pretty cool rate of items smelting, and it does not require us to fill all the furnaces up. For those who did not watch the last video, the disadvantage with doing it this way, although this is still a pretty cool way, and a cheap way too, because you don't have to waste your resources on powered rails, is that A, this is limited to only 8 blocks, and B, all the items get sent to the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one. Now another advantage to doing it this way is that you can place items in here and only send it when you're ready. No, you're not dropping items in here and then accidentally put your bed in there or something, and then have to jump in and get it out. Anyway, I hope I explained it better. I feel like I've explained this concept better. And the sun's setting, so it's time for me to wrap it up. Thanks for watching.